This is an extract from our AHK Hero Club. We have calls 3 times a week. Please like the video if you learned something.
You could only control the windows you created for visibility.
You can change them. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it seemed to work for me. Like when you share the screen, I couldn't see, and first I could see the yellow box for where your camera's going, and then you clicked it, and then I couldn't see it anymore.
Yeah, but
so
that's because
actually working.
Yeah, that's because I created that GUI. What I was trying to do and say, let me do that on the calculator or notepad.
Yeah, okay. But I was just thinking the only thing I want to have hidden is the color around the mouse, because when I'm sharing the screen, I just want my other people, like my guests, to see my regular mouse, but I want to see is my microphone muted, is my camera on, am I sharing the screen? So, and those things we could hide, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where, let me get my Zoom bar launched, but also, because I sent it to you, and I guess, I don't know if you had a chance to play with it, detect sharing. So
I couldn't get it to work, sadly.
So when I run this, now I have a yellow tooltip around my mouse, right? Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. And I think I made it, visible to viewers. When I uncheck this, now you don't see that, right?
Correct. Now I don't see any.
But I still
around
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yes, and that's exactly what I want. So that's
Now, Kenneth, I know this isn't what you wanted, but because this circle around the pointer drives me crazy, right? So I was like, hey, can I reverse this? Can I have it only shown to the people and not to me? And that was where Claude said, well, it's like, that's a lot harder. You could create a virtual desktop and fake it by doing the stuff over there, and then you're not looking at it, but it's still done, like, or something like that. I'm like,
okay.
I really like that idea, Joe. Could you tell me this with this toggling on and off of the yellow halo? Is it also possible to do other things? Like, I'll give you a use case. So let's imagine you and I are doing a presentation, and we want to say, "Oh, don't ask Kenneth about blah blah because he doesn't like it or something." Could we, or likes it, or could we write effectively a private message on the screen that he wouldn't see?
Well, but who else would see it?
Well, whoever else is in your, I guess that's the difficult thing, isn't it? Because you could see it.
Yes.
It's kind of you or everyone.
So, right. So the webcam reminder, it's already built that way where I can put bullets in it. I can write in it. I can have notes to myself that you guys can see.
Okay.
Which is great. But to your point, I can't say Steve can see this, but Ryan can't.
Right.
Another
use case, as you say, let's say you have a PowerPoint presentation, you could write, although I think PowerPoint already does this, but you could have notes to yourself on the, okay, great. Thank you for clarifying. Interesting.
But it's just much more customizable, right? When you have that full control of like...
Yeah, so it's not just the graphic object. You could basically layer anything on and just have you see it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and that was where I was thinking initially was, wow, what if, like I said, as like I think mine's Windows A, if I activate a program and hit Windows A, it makes that always on top. What if we could do that to any program, right?
Yes, right.
And I'm like, that'd be cool, but that was where I was like, yeah, not really. But what occurred to me was my example, let's say, of watching, what I say, Days of Our Lives or whatever you like, whatever you want to watch, right? If I created a WebView 2 tool that then streamed, used FFmpeg or something inside of it, I would have full control again. So I would have control of you guys not realizing on this same screen, I'm watching a movie, right? Which is just cuckoo. In the old days, and Steve would, I'm sure he's, remembers this kind of stuff, people would, adjust the transparency. So other people wouldn't see that they're playing a game, like especially developers, they would be doing stuff. And then they have a hotkey to switch the screens really quick if their bosses came close, right? Like I remember that being a big thing. But when I told Ryan this about, like, I got this really cool idea, and then I'm like, because I swear I've never seen this before, and we realized why was because it's it's not easy. Yeah, you got to own the GUI. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's all good stuff. A couple of questions. Getting back to Handy, is it, I'm often dictating the word colon, like to get a colon. I put it in that, what is it, custom words,
Right.
but it doesn't, I say the word colon, but it doesn't put out a colon. Is there a way to fix that?
Well, Ryan, I know he's changing he's got the open source because it's open. He's got
Yeah.
the source code, right? So sure, right? Like because you're messing with the source code, right?
Yeah. So you're saying, yeah, sorry, go on.
Well, just real quickly, because I tried putting in Irfan's name and Isaiah's and stuff, and that was my one beef. Actually I could mention to Ryan, the one thing that I noticed Handy doesn't do well is that swapping out of words for you. Like
Yeah.
when you have it at one setting, it doesn't work at all. You turn it up and then it shoves them everywhere, even though you don't say it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, so that's the bummer.
And that's also why I don't like Windows. I don't think Windows has a library for that at all. So you can't have custom words. So Ray, your issue is that you can't basically speak punctuation. Is that right?
Yes, particularly colon, because I use that often, but punctuation would be great.
Well, sorry, what I would easy fix, sort of fix, is to have a special word, Ray, and then you write an AutoHotkey script to monitor your clipboard and use your clipboard where Handy shoves it to the clipboard, and then you're watching the clipboard and you do the replacement or something, right? Like,
yeah,
it's annoying, but I think you could get it that way. But I still would say, since we have the source code, it's at least feasible asking AI to fix this.
Yeah, I think I've thought a little about this problem because since I'm not a native English speaker, it tends to get more things wrong, I think, than just having an accent. So one of the things I think is needed for especially strange things like Irfan or like things that aren't really English words is to have the ability to write what it sounds like phonetically.
Mm-hmm.
Or else it wouldn't like work. So because Irfan is written with a I, but it's pronounced with a right? So it's two quite different things. It's very hard to just write Irfan and expect it to write it with an I, right?
You try Isaiah Bays because his last name is both the first and last name are like not. Yeah.
So I guess
there's
probably 2 or 3 solutions to this. I think maybe the simplest thing is to Kenneth's point. If there's almost like a phonetic replacement tool built into Handy. So if it sounds like this, insert this. If it sounds like this, insert this. So I think we can solve that problem. I'll have a look at that this week. We might be able to do that. And then to Ray's issue, I think you could apply the same approach if you didn't use the word colon, but you use another word, like as Joe saying, a custom word that replaced that custom word with a colon.
Yes.
That would probably be
so you could say colonoscopy. You could say colonoscopy and then do a search and replace afterwards because you're probably not using that word that much, right? So.
Let's hope not.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, it'd be painful otherwise. Yeah. That's a good idea.
And then to further extend it, how to get it to output uppercase?
You need to shout. You shout. Or get angry. Yeah, that's a good question as well.
Yeah.
Do you want, just on that point, is it so let me just give you a couple of cases and maybe we can solve this as a team here. So if it was like an abbreviation, like FYI, then I suppose it could again be treated as a text replacement. So if you put lower, if it knew FYI, it could make it macro. If it's like a more, if I can use this, like random approach, we'd need to have some way to trigger it being
Well,
on and off, and it might be difficult to do it by voice. What do you think, Joe?
well, I just have a question back to Ray. That Ray, for the uppercase, do you know ahead of time the things that you want to uppercase, or is it on the fly? There are certain things that you want uppercased and other ones not.
I know ahead of time.
That's what I was thinking, because that changes. It makes it much easier of a problem to solve, and that not that we wouldn't want the other one also, but now that's suddenly much easier because when again, you could have your some sort of a search replacement in your clipboard or something to easily do that one for you, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So you could have it, we could have it built into Handy even that if you said FYI, it would always capitalize it. So you could have like a library of words to do that with.
right.
Another
Yeah.
way potentially, although maybe less reliable, is maybe there was a modifier key you could hold down at the time you wanted something capitalized. I don't know
Yeah.
if that would work. That might work, but I'll be a bit worried about that working.
You'd have to do that you'd have to say it separately. Is that right, Ryan? Is in your thought on that?
Yeah, you just sort of toggle that think of the voice as just an input. So like it's translating it. We'd have to mark that from the point that that key was pressed to the moment it was depressed. But that might be very unreliable. I wouldn't rely on it.
Well, that's my point though, is if we're stopping what we're saying and we hit a different hotkey, it's easy.
Oh no. Well, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You're saying
Yeah.
you do it all at once, and that's why I'm
Yeah.
saying like that is much harder. What you're
Yeah, agree.
yeah, it's a great idea. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking
Yeah.
of the programming side of like that is much more
Yeah.
difficult.
But definitely
Yeah,
a
you have
library
to
of
time
words
it.
that we could treat differently, like abbreviations and misspellings of Irfan and things like that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well,
What about this idea that when I wanted uppercase, I could hold down my shift key or turn on cap locks, and then
Yeah, that
whatever I
was what we
dictate
were saying.
would be
Yeah, we could try that. That would be that would be intuitive, wouldn't it? That would be quite nice.
intuitive.
well, we can
Yeah.
try it right now, but again, it's the question is, but you have to stop what you're saying,
Well, maybe.
and then it would be
Probably.
uppercase.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Hopefully
I think
not.
you could time when if you say this is the timeline we're on, so when you're recording, you are starting a timeline, right? And when you click the shift, you are like inserting timestamps. So between
Oh,
this timestamp and that timestamp, you're uppercase, right?
to that point, I know this is well, it's off topic but on topic. I'm doing another project at the moment, Joe, the video project I showed with you. I've got another tool I'm using, not handy for, but Parakeet, the LLM it uses. And
Yeah.
when I speak, I'm then getting a transcription done by Parakeet, the same LLM, and the video is putting on the subtitles are appearing when I'm saying the words. So it is placing it in the right places. So to your point, Kenneth, it is doing timestamps. So maybe it could be possible to do like a modifier key. I would put it like under 25% chance it could work, but if it did work, it would be amazing.
But you're doing yours post hoc, right, Ryan?
Yeah, that's post. That's a good point too, as well, Joe.
Anyway, I'm not. By the way, you guys are going to laugh at this. So I was like, well, this is simple. We're Ryan and I are talking about, well, we can test this out, see if it works. Well, duh, I can test this right now. So I held down the shift key and spoke, but that's the hotkey that has me send the stuff to Ryan. So
Yeah. Well, you can have a play around with it. That's a really nice idea because Joe and I had another thought. One of the things that doesn't frustrate us, we love Handy, but another thing we'd like it to do is potentially have ordered lists.
yeah.
And if there was a way somehow we could toggle on ordered list mode or bullet point mode or something, that would be another useful thing. But it might need to be as seamless and intuitive as possible. We might need to marry voice input with keyboard input, like toggling the shift or the caps lock is racing. But that's a really nice idea if we could get that to work.
Yeah.
And then, Joe, is there somewhere on your website where I could see a list of
Grab 25% off all our AHK goodies, courses, scripts, and custom work so you save cash while building your toolkit like a boss. Tap into over 466 plus hours of AHK video gold, including fresh clips like this, for anytime learning that fits your schedule.